Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We are really, really excited to have you joining us, whether you are listening to this recording or you are here for the live call. Whoever invited you to be here, it is because we have a mission for this business and this team, and they see something in you that they feel like could help further that mission. And tonight, my hope is that you get to lean in with us, learn a little bit about the company that we partner with, learn a little bit about how we navigate this business opportunity, and see where you can insert yourself and your story into the big picture. So my name is Kelly Brown. I've been a coach for 6 years. I'm the founder of the Freedom Family, which is basically one big family tree with lots of beautiful branches that have their own teams. And we come together as a team for trainings and for retreats and events and for things like this to share the blessing of this opportunity. My journey, like I said, started 6 years ago. I was a mom of 5 at the time and was very stuck in my journey of just trying to figure out how to take care of myself, take care of my kids. My husband worked for a nonprofit and was very busy in ministry life, and I felt very lost. And so what I was looking for was a way to lose postpartum baby weight and stop like binging on dark chocolate chips and pans of brownies because I was an emotional eater. What I found was this shake that gave me energy like I'd never had, and this community attached to it that gave me a safe place to share about my day without feeling I was going to be judged, to learn without feeling stupid because there were a lot of things I didn't know, and my energy levels were increasing, and other things that I had just in the short 10 days that I had tried it were starting to improve. So I started coaching originally because I wanted to save on the product. And we'll tell you more about the benefits of coaching, but one of them is we get 25% off. And I decided, because my husband worked in ministry, if I was going to invest in anything for myself, which I had a hard time doing, but I knew it was valuable, I wanted to save the money and I wanted to be surrounded. So when I first started, I was afraid of sales and I was uncomfortable with talking to people about health and wellness because I'm not an expert. And it's a personal issue. And, I didn't want to work. I'd been a work at home mom, and I had this thing about moms at work that I just didn't know how that could happen. But as you can tell, 6 years later, I'm here with the team. So something changed. And so tonight, I'm going to share a few more pieces of my story. And then some of the coaches on our team are going to share pieces of their story to show you how this opportunity it's a beautiful gift that you get to use to attach to your life, to what it needs to fulfill in your life. For some of us, it is a part-time hobby. For some of us, it's a safe community where we benefit from the discount in the community, and we also give the gift of ourselves where we get to grow together in life. For some of us, it's a part-time job. For some of us, it's a full-time job. And we all matter in that purpose and in that mission of bringing freedom. So the mission of this team is to embrace freedom in our own journey by being a product of the product and taking care of ourselves. And when you do that, you naturally share the truth of what's going on. People see the changes in you. You talk different. You carry yourself different. Your family sees you changing and different. And you share the truth of that testimony. And that inspires people to have hope. And then they want to try things and they want to be the hero of their story. And as coaches, we walk with them. We partner with the company Beachbody. It's been around for 20 years. Most of you are challengers, so you're familiar with Beachbody On Demand, but it first started as an infomercial kind of company. They did P90X and Power 90, and that was their main source of bringing people to their products. But what they found was that the people who were buying the programs were creating these message boards back in the good old days when it was just like instant messenger and message boards before there was social media. And they were finding each other on the internet, and they were encouraging one another. And so Carl Deichler and John Condon, who are the CEOs of Beachbody, decided, what better way to further the product than to have the people who love the product help other people get started with the product, and we compensate them for them. And that's when the coaching network started, and it has evolved. We have so many things beyond P90X and Insanity. Now there's nutrition programs and supplements and Shakeology and like all of these things that are tools that are given to us. And as coaches, the business opportunity is a way for us to walk with people, connect them to the things that help them, and in doing so, create a financial blessing for ourselves. And so tonight, you're going to hear these stories. I'm going to kind of ask each coach to share a little bit, and they're going to also share with you, like I shared with you, some of the things that I hear that I said, that they've probably said about why coaching they worried was not for them, or they didn't want to do the business side. And so I ask that you just take some time and listen and think about, like, what could this be for you, and how could this change and evolve over time? And when we're finished with the questions, I'm going to go through a little bit of the nitty gritty of, like, how can you get started and what are the perks. I have a little graphic that whoever invited you can send to you afterwards to kind of cover the bases of that. But I just want you to take this time and just to be inspired. For those of you in our challenge groups, I'm just thankful that you're taking the time to check this out. Whoever invited you, just to know that there's this icky stamp nowadays that can be placed on network marketing. And I ask that you just take this night to excuse anything that you've ever preconceived or prejudged, and just be open, because this business model and opportunity has been like nothing else I've ever experienced. And just really grateful for you all to be here. So I am going to start with Sarah. So Sarah, I'll go ahead if you want to unmute yourself. Can you please share a little bit about how you got started with coaching?
I can. Hi, everybody. I'm glad that you're here tonight. My name is Sarah Kroger, and I got started with coaching. I was a challenger. I was a reluctant everything. I was a reluctant challenger. And the first time, actually, I turned Kelly down before she asked me. And that is lovely and pops up in Facebook memories every year. That I went right out of the gate. I'm like, do not invite me. She's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But I'm like, best of luck. Don't come talking to me. And here I am. But I said yes to a challenge, and it took me like 6 months to say yes to a challenge. And then partway through my challenge, she invited me to coaching. And I'm going to share a little bit more about this in a minute, but I got started through my challenge group, through my own journey, through starting to change my life. But I also said no to coaching a lot of times before I told her yes, because I doubted anything that I had to offer. I didn't think that I had anything. I knew a lot about nutrition, but I wasn't really good at implementing it, because I always joked that, like, I did all the right things, but I did all the wrong things on top of that. And I was afraid that I wasn't going to have anything to offer anybody when, as a coach, because I felt like I wasn't doing it perfectly myself. And so I wasn't really going to be able to help anybody else.
So I love that too, y'all. It's funny. There is a post that comes up. The first time I shared about doing a challenge, her comment was, good luck with that. And here we are. So something that, like, you just kind of hinted at, a lot of times that all of us feel like we have areas that we're still growing in our journey. So what would you say to someone about that has the concern of, like, how do I help other people when I'm still on my journey?
Yeah, I feel like that was my biggest hang up with coaching, and part of why I said no so many times, because I felt like I needed to be a finished product and have all the answers and have it all figured out before I could lead anybody else. And the crazy part of this is that through my struggles and overcoming them, and as I'm learning, it has made me a better coach, in my opinion, than waiting till the end, because we're in it together. So we're running the race together. I'm still not the expert. And as a coach, I don't put myself out there as the expert. I don't put myself out there and saying, well, I know all the things. Let me just tell you, I've learned a lot, but I've learned a lot about things that are specific to me. So I know a lot about eating with autoimmune diseases, and I know a lot about, dealing with rheumatoid arthritis and inflammation and gut health and those kinds of things, but I don't know the first thing about training for a bodybuilding competition, because that's not been my experience. You know what I mean? So, like, I didn't have to be the expert, but what I love about it is running the race with my people. So I'm in the group with my people, and I'm sweating and cursing at the trainers with my people, and making a plan for how to handle Thanksgiving, and making a plan for how to handle the weekend, and how to handle, one of my kids acting like a fool or whatever it is, we're all in it together. And I think that strengthens us as a team, because this has never been meant to be like, here's the leader and all of the followers around them. That's never been the way. I mean, that's not how we run our team. And it's really not the way that you lead anything. You're more of maybe like the quarterback, where you're on the field taking the plays. I still follow a nutrition program. I still follow an exercise program. I still follow what the experts put out there. And the only difference between me and the people that I am leading is that I've been doing it for a little bit longer. And I'm not on day one anymore. Like right now, I'm literally on day 90 of a program. I'm not on day one of my program. I can look back and I can see where I was last November. And so if you're just starting now in your coaching journey, then the advantage that I have is that I can tell you how I started, and I can tell you what I did and what I wish I had done. But I really like still being on my journey, because I think that it makes me relatable to the people who are just getting started.
That's so true. And I think like you had shared too, I mean, there's so many different seasons and things that we all go through. So there's lots of like pregnancy and postpartum and all of that. And thankfully, like we have that support even for ourselves while we're working.
I've gotten to do my postpartum journey twice as a coach.
It's been awesome. It's been awesome to see too how, as you, like you said, as you get more experience, it's been different every time.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. So tell us a little bit about how the Beachbody opportunity has blessed your life.
It sounds like a put on to say that it has impacted every corner of my life, except it really has. Like today, I worked out before church. We have a good routine going. Like we have a homestead and 6 children. And so on Sundays, my oldest daughter does barn chores. My husband milks the goats. My next younger daughter makes breakfast, and I work out and get everybody dressed. And that's kind of our routine for Sunday mornings, so that we can get out the door and get everything done. And so I don't want to eat a big meal before I work out, but I was like so hungry. I was about to eat like the wallpaper when I was done with my workout. And my husband walked past with a bowl of oatmeal, and I was like, ooh, I would like a couple bites of that because I deserve some carbs after that workout. And he's like, no, you earned some carbs after that workout. And I was like, just give me a bite. But he's like, no, I listen to what you say and blah, 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 and it's funny how it infiltrates everything. And it's how my children now view working out. And when we talk about like, why do we have to work out? Well, we work out because we're getting strong. And because our conversation has shifted, like we don't just talk about losing weight, we talk about optimal health and all of those kinds of things. But in another very real sense, like I have business goals that impact our daily life. So I love to craft. I love my animals. I love our homestead, all those kinds of things. Beachbody literally bought my new sewing machine and literally bought the pigs for my homestead and pays for a lot of the feed that we feed our animals. And so I have been able to, I understand when I say that people laugh at me because I had pigs as on my goals for a whole year while I was working for that. And that might not be literally your goal, but I hope that you can see that it's something that I was working for, and I didn't have to tax a family budget for that. So we're a family of 8 and we have 1 full-time income, and I am working my business, growing my business. And Kelly's going to talk about the levels of business. I'm a business builder. I am building a team to build an income. And so I am building a part-time income, working towards a full-time income. But even along the way, I can do things. So like we get paid on Thursdays, and on Thursday, I paid for our chickens that we just had processed. Awesome. And so like all those kinds of things. So my income turns into very real things for our family. And I like that I can work that into the budget, and we can expand on what our family homestead does without putting stress on our initial family budget.
That's awesome. Thank you. I know. I remember pigs. I was very excited. And I remember the sewing machine. It's good to remember those things too, because it's for those of you listening, a lot of times when you first start as a coach, we'll ask you like, what are some small like momentum goals that you want to work towards? Because those sometimes for each of us are probably the most powerful moments, were those first goals. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move over to Angie. Thank you so much, Sarah. Angie, can you share a little bit? Are you me? Oh, you changed your name. Good. I was like, tell us a little bit about how you got started with coaching.
Okay, so I was one of the freeloading people. I never bought a program. I didn't buy Shakeology. I didn't buy anything. I actually had somebody who was willing to put me in a group prior to buying anything. And when I paid for coaching, I bought my very first challenge pack. I bought my first Shakeology. I did all of it at once. And I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll buy everything and I'll go all in. And I did it because I had been doing groups for about 6 months, and it had changed how often I worked out. It had changed the amount of enjoyment I got from it. It had changed how I thought about working out. I wasn't constantly talking about how I needed to lose weight and how I needed to, talking about that stuff around my kids. And I have, just so you know, I have 9, and I have 5 girls, and I was pregnant with my 9th child when I joined as a coach. I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant. And I realized the way I was talking about myself and the way I was talking about it around my kids made exercise seem like a punishment, and it made it not seem joyful, and it made it not seem like it had a purpose except to lose weight. And I needed to change that so that my girls and my boys didn't grow up thinking that it was that. It needs to be, I needed to change how I thought about it, and that was happening in the groups. It was changing my mindset from the get-go. So when I signed up as a coach, I was ready to help other people change that in their lives as well. Because what we say out loud, even if we're talking about ourselves, our kids hear that, and it becomes their reality as well. It becomes what they think these things are. And for me, that was not, I realized what I was doing, and that wasn't okay. I needed to change all of those things about how I talk to myself and about myself.
That's awesome. It's so true too. It's so true. So as a mom of 9 who homeschools, and has other things that you do, like running miles and miles and miles, which is awesome. I'm sure you've heard this before. And so maybe you can share a little bit of how does like coaching fit into your daily life with your schedule, and what would you say to someone that's concerned about the amount of time?
So my favorite thing for people to tell me is that they don't have time for this, because I think it's just like, they actually say it to me honestly. And I think, are you joking? Because I homeschool. I have some kids in school. We just got done with a wedding for my oldest. Like, our lives are busy all over the place. But honestly, I think that if you can find a mission in what you're doing, you will make time for this. And for me, this has become my mission, because so many people feel so scared and so alone and so uncomfortable in their body and in their family and in their life. And for me to have an opportunity to reach out to them with products that will help them. They're not going to change your metabolism. They're not going to whack out your body. They're good, natural, healthy foods. It just happens to be in a shake, because then I don't have to make this shake up myself by going to the health food store and grabbing 100 things. And exercise programs and things that will help them. When I know that this is all good and good things for people, I can take that and I can say, I'm going to make the time to do this every day. So I have to intentionally sit down every day and tell everybody that's at home, here's when I'm working today. Here's what you can do while I work. And on the weekends, here's when I'm going to work, because they have to understand that it's a mission for me to help other people, to reach out my hand and to help them see that these are good products, but that God is calling them to this amazing life. And they can get that. They can feel that freedom. They can have that passion in their life, and they can do it with something that doesn't make them feel like they're punishing their body. that it becomes a joyful experience to exercise and to treat your body right and to fuel it with good, healthy foods. And having that and knowing that it's a mission for me and I can do it from my home while my kids crawl all over me. Usually my husband's putting them to bed right now, but they're all over the place. When I'm on calls, when I'm doing meetings, they're everywhere. And that's okay because I don't have to send them away. I don't have to tell them to be quiet. Like, it's okay for them to be here. And that's the kind of job that I need because I don't want to sacrifice my mission for my kids, which are like my why. They're my reason for being here and doing this stuff and being able to stay home with them. So does that answer the question that you asked?
Yeah. Yes, no, that's so true. Can you share a little bit about like how much time you started, like when you first started, like how much time you spent on your business daily and kind of what helped you so that you weren't on your phone all the time? Because I think that's another kind of time concern too.
So I have a checklist that I use every day and I go through the checklist, and it probably took me about an hour a day. When I sit down now to do the stuff that I have to do, it doesn't take an hour if I'm doing the same. Initially, the amount of work that I was doing took an hour. If I was still doing that same amount of work, it would probably take me 20 minutes. I'm doing more work now because I want to reach out and help as many people as possible. So I'm doing more work than I was back then. But initially, you could probably do it in 45 minutes if you were pretty focused because there's a checklist. And when you get done, you just turn it off. I mean, you just close your computer or you walk away and you go, my work is done. If you worked at Target, you wouldn't go back to Target every day and start rearranging the shelves. So you're done. You're done with your work. You get done. You close your computer and you don't talk to more people until tomorrow when it's work time.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, because I think that's something that discipline is a piece of it, but we have the tools to help so that you have some guidance with that. So can you share a little bit about how this has blessed your life?
So I used to go to the gym. I'm a runner. I used to go to the gym. I was a gym rat. I love to go to the gym. My kids work out with me every day now. It has changed our whole family. I love to go to the gym. I love to go to classes. The classes always happened at weird times for my homeschooling life, so it was hard. But I now, when I first started, I would take my phone and I would do some of the workouts at the gym because I actually liked going to the gym and getting away from my kids for a while. But when I saw what happened when I worked at home, they work out with me. And we talk about food differently. And they'll eat tacos on lettuce now instead of eating them in a taco shell. Like, what? I never thought that was possible. Like, they'll eat salad. One of my kids eats salad at school now. One kid goes to school. He gets salad every day. I'm like, who are you? You don't eat salad at home. But he eats it because he sees it every day. Like, I put out 3 or 4 vegetables at every meal because I want them to be used to that. I want them to try them. And I didn't used to do that. I used to punish myself with food, or I wouldn't eat, or I'd eat weird stuff, or I was always trying some new diet. Now I eat as healthy as I can and as clean as I can. And it's changed how we view meals. It's changed how we work out. It's changed. We don't have a sofa in our family room because that's our exercise room. So if you want to watch TV, you have to sit on the floor, or you have to bounce on the trampoline, or you have to sit on an exercise ball. We don't have a sofa. That's one thing that changed. We got rid of it. It's just gone.
I love it. But I love how you shared, like, you know, your mission, and I wrote it down, like, you find a mission in what you're doing so you make time for it. And I think that's something, like, Angie and I have been good friends and doing this for a while, and watching her mission unfold in this has been a really awesome piece of it. And her kids meeting my kids, and like, it's just been neat how all of our families have become interconnected in this whole opportunity. It is a business, but it does reach out beyond just your power hour, which you call your work hour, to other places in your life. Thank you so much for sharing. Megan, you ready, girl? So tell us a little bit about how you got started with coaching.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
My headphones are like really in my ear, and so I felt like I was underwater. Okay. I am Megan. I have been coaching in April, it'll be 3 years. And I got started because I was a first-time mom, and my job that I had when I was pregnant with my first was supposed to turn into stay at home, and it fell through. Side note, I really didn't like that job. It was customer service. And then I nannied part-time, bringing my baby, which I really enjoyed, but the kids were growing up and I didn't know when that road would end. And then we ended up moving, and I tried teaching online, which paid me Trident layers, basically. Remember those commercials, anyone? And then took a lot of my time and was stressful, and there were lots of disrespectful students and parents, so that was no fun. So I wanted to try something different, and I really liked the idea of being my own boss, especially because I was a stay-at-home mom, and didn't see any opportunity to go to work and make much money other than what would pay for childcare, because we didn't live close enough to a family to help. And so I had a friend, basically a friend of a friend, who had been coaching, and I was looking into just a couple different MLMs to see what I enjoyed. And so I wanted to pick her brain about what it was like to be a mom, because she had just had her first kid. At this point, mine was almost a year, or maybe was. And I wanted to know what that life was like. And she invited me to a webinar just like this. And I heard stories about people who had an eating disorder, and these tools and these products and this community had healed them. And I have a history of an eating disorder and had gone through a lot of healing before this, but they used their coaching to share their story and to be a witness to other people and to save lives, really. And so I was like, whoa, that is exactly what I've always wanted to do. I really had a heart for ministry and wanted to be a youth minister, but that just wasn't something practical with my lifestyle at the time. And so I started to see that this was an opportunity to reach out to people and still be home with my babies, and to make money, which we needed. So that's when I was like, hey, coaching's where it's at.
That's awesome. Can you share a little bit about, I think something we hear quite a bit, and I think all of us have felt it at some season. How do you feel about the sales aspect of what we do? And what would you say to someone who is just fearful of that part of this business?
Yeah. So when I first started coaching, actually when my coach Megan was sharing with me about what it was, one of the things that I told her was like, well, I have a history in sales. So like I worked at AT&T doing sales. I was in customer service for sales. Like I know sales, I can do this. And I quickly learned by being a part of the team and learning what coaching was, that it's not sales. Thank God, because sales is not fun. And what I did learn is that it, just like you're hearing from Sarah and Kelly and Angie, like it's mission based. And like I already told you, like I found a vision right when I had learned about coaching that I could pursue. So it's mission focused and purpose driven. And you're really just sharing your belief in products and your hand as a guide and a cheerleader. And it's a little bit different than some of the other MLMs out there, just because even though the products that they can offer you can be life-changing and beneficial, like oils and clean beauty products can be so beneficial for your health even, right? However, what we do as coaches is we provide a community and we provide that mentorship to walk through life. And I truly believe that eating healthy and moving your body and working on your mindset in regards to that is necessary, is what every single person needs. And so you're really just offering someone to walk life with them and to make sure that they have a full life. And I jumped into coaching right away. So as I learned to coach, I had to grow in my belief of what Beachbody had to offer. And it's important to have that, because just like you would offer somebody, or you would share with a good friend that, hey, you're struggling with this. Well, this really helped me, or this really helped my friend because we're similar in such and such a way. You're offering people a solution to their problem, but you already will have built that friendship, because part of what we do as coaches is we just reach out to people more intentionally, and we first foster a relationship with them. We don't just say, hey, I have this great thing. Would you like to try it? We say, hey, tell me about yourself, right? We get to know them. So it's first a relationship, and we figure out if there's something good that we can share with them. Otherwise, you just gain a friend, and then that's how you make a sale, by offering to help somebody with something that they have shared with you that they're struggling with. And you reap the reward financially, but it's so much less pushy. And I'm certain there are coaches out there who do really start with the product, but on our team, we don't do that. We really seek to serve. And I really think the company as a whole seeks to serve people and change their lives. So that is what it looks like as far as selling things to me.
Yeah, no, that's so true. It's bringing that solution, like Sarah posted, like, and knowing what their goals are. Some people that you reach out to need different things, and so you learn to be a good listener.
Yes.
Which definitely takes the ick part out. And something someone told me one time, which is kind of true, is like, you sell your kids on eating veggies at dinner. You know what I mean? Or you sell but it's not like you were saying, like that pushy, like wrong idea of like, or, stressful deadline based kind of icky that it gets attached to. I love how you shared that with, like, it's the mission of connecting people, like you would, like, oh, I loved this cup of coffee. You should go to this coffee shop and go try it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, can you share a little bit about how coaching has impacted your life?
Yes. It's such a loaded question. Just to rattle off a couple points. Being a stay-at-home mom has always been my dream, but it hasn't always been something that I necessarily enjoy every second of. And to be able to tap into the team and have friendships with people who I'm growing with, which if you've ever done anything where you can go on a retreat and there's like a team building exercise or a bonding exercise, and you realize that when you go through something challenging, even if it's like a break the ice kind of exercise, you get to know people. So we're all trying to build this business and overcome any insecurities and fears that hold us back. So it draws us together. So these friendships are close. And so to just be able to be like, hey, I don't have anything left. My kids are driving me nuts. Who wants to hop on and work with me? Is like, and I'm an extrovert. So it's like completely fills me. And it also just gives me a purpose beyond, my kids are 3 and 1 and 1 in the womb. So I'm like in the brink of toddler chaos. Thank you. I almost said something else. And it gives me something else to like a purpose beyond just the day-to-day mom. Not that being a mom isn't amazing, but it just gives me something beyond it. And I think I really needed that. But it's also paid for groceries and paid for my Shakeology and paid for my Energize and my Beachbody On Demand subscription. And I needed the extra accountability by signing up to lead other people to actually be successful in my own personal journey. So that has made it, I don't know if I would have been as consistent if I wasn't leading at the same time. So that it's just that mere fact of being a leader to other people has kept me accountable. it's healed me in a lot of insecurities, because I am reaching out to people and growing outside of my comfort zone, and it's teaching me gifts that I didn't know I had, or that I knew I had or didn't trust in. And it's taught me good tools for life, like personal development is helpful for everybody. And that's, something I can tap into for every part of my life. So those are a couple bullet points.
That's awesome. Thank you. So I'm going to kind of wrap us up for the evening and talk a little bit about the details of what the kind of overview of what we talked about, but kind of some of the specifics. I'm going to share my screen to a little PDF. Can you guys all see this? Can you get a thumbs up? Is this visible? Okay. So this is just some of the basics. We've talked about some of this already, but Beachbody is an internationally known. So we are in Canada, United States. We will be we're in the UK, and then we will be launching into France and other European countries in the next year. So it's expanding globally. They're known for their, products that you are familiar with, for those of you that are in our challenge groups. And so you can look up there. We even have a copy of just like the comp plan and things. And for those of you that want more details than what I'm sharing tonight, feel free to ask your coach. It's super easy to share. But as a coach, you make money two ways. The first is you make a 25% commission on all sales, some items even up to 40%. And if you choose to go the route of building a team, which is having other coaches that you mentor and work with, then you also can earn through what we call team cycle bonuses, which is like a bonus that you get through helping your coaches reach their goals in their business. The perks of coaching: 25% discount on all products and programs, first access to newly launched products and programs. So anytime a program comes out, as coaches, we get a coach exclusive window. So like when Morning Meltdown 100 came out, we got to try the first 10 workouts like a month before they came out. Our new workout that's coming out in January is a bar leg workout. Oh my goodness, you guys, like, I don't know if you've done Pure Barre. I'd never done Pure Barre, but I tried the workout at a retreat I was at a few weeks ago, and I felt muscles that were sore that I didn't know existed in my rear. I'm just going to say that. It's a good, like, really amazing program. Every program Beachbody releases, even the ones where I'm like, I don't really know if I want to do that, I always try them, and I'm always impressed by them. But the beauty is you choose what kind of aligns with your what you enjoy. You get unlimited access to monthly trainings, webinars, conference calls, and videos. Our team offers all of these things, and you are invited to participate in the ones that align with your goals. Coach mentorship. So I offer mentorship to anyone on our team that wants to go the business builder route and be a little more like focused on creating that income. And that's through mastermind calls and having guest speakers and things to help those coaches at that level to elevate their business. And a huge support system. So we are a family. We were the Team Freedom for a long time, and then family came and got added on because it is what we are. Like, we are all different. We all have our own unique gifts. We lean on one another for our gifts, our weaknesses, and our strengths. We all have different missions, but they all really are woven together in this purpose and freedom and desire to help other people to experience that healthy and fulfilling life, which is the mission of Beachbody. So a couple of things people worry, and so I'll mention, is there's no pressure to sell. The number one thing with being a coach is being a product of the product, which also does not mean being a perfect person. It means being a product of the product. So working out, drinking Shakeology, or if the performance line is your jam, or following 2B mindset, or the ultimate portion fix, there are so many different avenues. You don't have to do one. You do what is your journey. And we don't have a pushy sales mentality. Like I shared at the beginning, it is a embrace freedom in your own journey. And then you're naturally sharing it by being that example in your family, and it ripples out. We do not hold inventory. We do not stock products. We do not ship products. We don't have to worry about customer service hassle. Beachbody offers all of that for us. They handle all of that for us. There's no contract. So if you decide at any point in time, there's no cancellation fee. There's no obligation to continue coaching. You don't have to do home parties unless you want to. You're welcome to work your business however you choose to. A lot of us you navigate through social media, but there are plenty of coaches that choose to do it through small gatherings because that's their thing, and that's the beauty of this business, is you get to build it and grow it the way you choose. To get started as a coach, you have two choices. You can sign up with a challenge pack, which will give you all the tools that you need. If you've already ordered a challenge pack, then it's $39.95. That's all it costs. And then you actually can have that reimbursed if you fill a form out in the first 30 days of the date of when you purchased your challenge pack. I don't know how many franchises you can start for $39.95, but that's pretty incredible considering I have several mentor friends of mine that are multiple 7-figure earners from this business, 6-figure earners, full-time income, part-time income. And the beauty of it, you guys, is Beachbody does not guarantee any income. Your income is a direct reflection of your time and the effort and how many lives you have affected. So what I love about it, though, is every grocery bill that's covered, every tank of gas that's filled, every vacation that's helped paid for is also a symbol of you helping someone else in their own health and wellness, which is a beautiful like gift. We do have a monthly website fee of $15.95 a month. That's what we pay Beachbody to keep our website, to do all the shipping, to handle all the customer service. So that's that. If you are military, the $15.95 a month fee is waived, as well as the $40 sign-up fee for all military. So Sarah's family enjoys that perk. That's a great gift that Beachbody gave. Something that I want to share, and then we always close our calls in prayer is a part of our team and our team culture. Every team's culture is different. One of the things I love about Beachbody as a company is that they do provide all of these training and tools. And I got to go to a retreat in Phoenix, Arizona a few weeks ago as a guest of my coach with some of the top leaders of the company. And I got to sit at tables with women I would never meet in life other than through this. Women who have very different stories, and men who have very different stories, couples who work the business together, coaches who've been around since the Coach Network started. And what I loved about it is that I don't know what it's like in other companies, but I know for me to be in a room with people who are of different levels of in their organization and then in their teams, and to be treated like an equal who's just equally respected and cared about, and they share what works for them, and they'll brainstorm with you and they'll listen to your ideas, and it's just community. Community exists on our team, but to go to Phoenix, Arizona and be around 500 coaches from all over the world that I don't know, and to still feel that sense of community, even though we have different backgrounds, different creeds, different beliefs, it's just it shows that it's rooted in the company in itself. When I shared that when I first started coaching, it was 6 years ago, and I had all these insecurities and worries. I finished my first 90-day challenge group, and I felt like I had to tell other people about what I was doing because it had changed my life. For the first time in my life, I actually liked my body after 5 kids. And I've now had 8 pregnancies. And I still, to this day, am more comfortable in my post-8 baby pregnancy body than I was when I was 18. And so when I don't feel like working, I remember that. But it's also blessed our family through my marriage has been strengthened. I've been able to pay for my son's therapies. I have 2 kids with special needs. When we outgrew our Suburban, my goal that year was to pay for us to buy a car. Help for vacation. Now I have a daughter who's in high school, college is around the corner, which is freaky, and there always are going to be expenses. And Beachbody has allowed me to dream bigger because my husband works he's a Catholic school, elementary school principal, which is an amazing job. But with a family our size, I'd either have to get outside the home and work full time, or I can do this from home. And it started small and it grew. And so the last thing I'll tell you when when you're thinking about this, and I'm going to share just one more graphic because I think it just kind of explains. Oh, they didn't do it. Hold on. Can you see the pick your path one? Okay. There are multiple ways to be a coach. This says 3, but if you read through, and this is another thing that can be sent to you, there is a discount coach, someone who loves the products, wants to get the discount, wants to be a part of the community, wants to insider access, wants all the perks. You're not interested in leading a group or in making this a business right now, but you're open to the option of making a small commitment, maybe by recommending it to friends, but it's not required. Then you have a community builder, someone who uses and loves the products, loves the community, wants to help lead the groups a little bit, already has a job, but wants doesn't have a need to necessarily make coaching a full-time thing, but wants to make a few $100s a month by helping others in their health goals, and loves the idea of a little side hustle to provide accountability. And then the legacy builder, which is people that are business builders. Business builders are people building part-time to full-time income, but not working 40 hours a week. Think 12 to 15 hours a week as a business builder. Because as your business grows, we teach you ways to maximize your time, to get assistance, to help, so that your number one stays your number one. So I wanted to just share these with you because I think sometimes we have preconceived notions of what this can be. I'll tell you that as a person that loves working this business, I have to shut it off because I have to shut it off, but I don't want to sometimes because I love it so much. But it's definitely blessed my life. I know an extra $200 a month was such a blessing for us. I know with the holidays coming up, for many people to have Christmas money is a blessing. All of that is possible. So, and as one of our coaches who shared on our call a couple weeks ago, she doesn't feel like she can hold someone else's future captive in her mouth. So she talks to people about what's helping her in that hope. So if any piece of this has spoken to you tonight, if you decide you want to start off in that discount coach route, which most of us did, and then kind of tiptoe your way over, or you're like, no, I'm going all in, we're here to meet you where you're at. And in seasons as things shift, we're here to walk with you in those seasons too. So just to know that. But we're really thankful that you took the time to be here tonight. If you have any questions, you can message them to the coach that invited you. The 2 PDFs I shared are available. They can send those if you want to read over them again, just as a little reference guide. But I'm going to close us in prayer, and excited to welcome some of you guys to our team as we head into November and the holidays to walk with people on their journey. So let's go ahead and pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this team and for our time together this evening. I pray for everyone who joined us tonight for the call, and for those that are listening to this recording and discerning being a part of the Freedom family, and the many teams that are a part of this team. Lord, I pray that you put aside fear and that you give a spirit of wisdom and discernment for anyone that feels this is knocking on their heart, that you help them to discern and navigate the questions and concerns they have with their coach. I pray in thanksgiving for their openness to be here and to listen. And I pray for all of the coaches joining our team and all of the coaches on our team that we continue to have confidence and courage to reach out to others and give them the gift of freedom in their life, whether it's through this opportunity in blessing them financially, through community, through the support, through the tools and the nutritional supplements that have brought so much health and healing to so many. I thank you for the ways this business has blessed our lives, our marriages, our faith, our community, our finances. And I ask that you continue to guide us, Lord, in every step that we take. And we give all of this to you. And thank you so much, Lord. And we pray all this in your most holy name. Amen. Thank you guys for being with us tonight, or for those listening to the recording. And we are excited to welcome some of you to our team. Take care.